Something I want to share today is about quantum jumps and how we change our perceptions of the things and how we get advanced in spirituality, but also as well with a business, with a couples, with a families, with whatever you're trying to achieve. So this is a short, long story. I'm gonna go with a story that you can understand everything what I'm saying exactly. So there's always background to something. So for last few weeks, I've been stressing more. Imagine, I've been closing some projects like the Switch Movement websites. It has to be finished. I didn't want to finish it like in a year or two, so I squeezed up the time. And between other projects, other business I do, I was finishing the websites, and some people helped me, of course. So there's like a guy in Poland helping me, and there's like a new person in India helping with all the things. So I was doing business. I was stressing a little more, which you know how it ends usually. And stressing never ends good. And as far as I explain to myself very often, like, yeah, you're gonna finish this project like in a month and you're gonna take rest. And it's true because then I can take a month or 2 months off or whatever time you need to recuperate. But when I stress for a few weeks, it doesn't come out good because I feel less and less energy and more hectic. So how it's visible, I talk a lot about easy mind and the crazy mind. And easy mind is something I aspire to every day, and I started to achieve it after years of experience. And crazy mind is every other average person has a crazy mind, I'm assuming, around here, most of the people. So you get up and you think about problems. Oh, I'm going to work, there's this thing to fix, there's this issue with the boss, and here my wife and the kids and the bills and that. And that is the crazy mind talking. Your ego, your mind likes to come up with the problems, I guess. I mean, maybe not yours, maybe it's just mine. So what I'm asking you in the Switch videos and when you hear to the masters is like, you don't have to go with this truth. You can refer some part of the truth somebody is explaining if it ringing the bell in you, if I talk about some negative thoughts and there's a person who has a totally beautiful life and a totally beautiful thoughts, it's all good. But most of us are not like this, totally opposite way. So I'm talking about that you get up in the morning and those thoughts are really molesting me when I'm becoming hectic, this hectic version of me, which is still, you could say, I'm pretty relaxed guy to comparing to all of the other Mexican and other people running around to work and getting the breakfast, hurry, I don't have to hurry, I don't have to stress, I do things easy, I go to the beach every day. But this is hectic part of my life when I finish some business and my mind, you see, it's switch into finish, do, close, success, So then I noticed that, of course, and I feel really bad with it because I already know how to have easy mind. When you get up and there's just your tea and no problems. Imagine, like nothing rings the bell. Like you think about problems, of course you can come up with something. There's some unfinished issue. There's always some business unfinished in your life, or somebody hurt you weeks or months or years ago and you still remember it. But you wake up, you go for a walk like me every day to do some exercise, breathing, sun, wake up with the sun. Nothing's molesting me. I just sit there and it's just all good. So I talk to myself when those hectic days. And important stuff, when sometimes you have some pain in the body, whatever it is, heart, hand, elbow, head, I don't know, intestines, your stomach or back pain. When I have those hectic days, this shows up, pain body. But what is really a pain body? Pain body is something Eckhart Tolle is talking about, but in different sense, like emotional sense. But here, it's pretty much the same. You get hectic, and this ease comes, some pain body, Why it comes? Well, I always say in body and in life, well, you can get the life with a sorrow and problems and thinking like, oh, the disease comes and now we all gonna die, or depression comes and it's bad and it's like cannot handle it and life's so difficult, or when the life brings you lime, you can do lemonade. Or differently saying, I always say, life could be like, when you're spiritual, when you understand things, you become operate in life like an Aikido. Do you know Aikido, martial arts? Aikido is like, its main purpose is like when somebody comes with a strength and trying to attack you, you move away, or you take this move to put it aside of you and use it even to disbalance opponent, or put him on the ground with his force. That is, he's bringing the force because he's attacking you, something's coming at you, right? So this is the metaphor of life, that anything comes to you, and you say, of course, with the simple stuff, it's easy, life bring you limes and you do the lemonade, I don't know, you lost something and you buy some other thing and you're happy because you have new thing, for example, right? But what if disease comes, serious disease? Well, then you have to be other level, more smart. You have to understand that this is nothing else as higher self communicating with you to tell you that your process's life is going to shit, closely saying, and you might fix something or stop what you're doing and do something else or relax, because this is the opposite way to ease. So this is yin and yang, ease, this ease. So when this ease comes, it's the higher self telling to you, listen, you got this ease, you gotta go at ease, otherwise we end this project and disease goes bad and we end your life because you're doing nonsense anyway, so I don't need to watch this. So you can say this is higher self saying, you can say this is God saying, this is universe, this is whatever it is. This is how it works. Fortunately, unfortunately. If I would have to choose, I would choose differently, that we all live happy, and whatever you do some crazy shit, or you live beautifully, you are always healthy, you're always happy, you can do anything and it's just going good, good, good. But life, universe is programmed a little bit different. You have to align with it, to alineación, to alignment, or it gonna tells you you're not at ease, you're gonna have this ease, okay? So this way it comes. So when the disease comes, the same. You don't say like, oh, now we're gonna die and why it came. I'm leading good life and everything like me, healthy, good life, exercising, breathing, going to the beach, sun gazing, praying, meditating, and I got still some pain body issues sometimes. But that is the life, that is my process telling me, Mike, you need to, from this ease, you need to go ease. So I say like, okay. And another thing, example is like, what if somebody dies, for example? And then you say, oh, no, with that case, we don't do lemonade with somebody is dying, And I say, of course, even the most tragic things happen in your life. And it's nothing I would wish to anybody, that somebody dies in your surroundings or your family, or you lose a finger or hand or something terrible happens, You can always make a lemonade when the lime is coming. Always, whatever it is. You see so many beautiful people on the wheelchairs, knowing the sense of the life. And Nick, the great guy Nick, life without limbs. Guy without limbs leading great life with a great wife now, and being in love with himself and other people. It's just great inspiration. So nobody can say really, oh, life brought me this and I'm gonna be down right now. No, life is just bringing you things that you can evolve, that you can aspire, that you can understand, that you can get better. Otherwise it would finish you. Okay? I say life would die you, finish you, And when you're not listening to disease process, that's what is happening. Life tells you like, you need to move to ease, and life tells you like, we bring you this ease to show you that you're not at ease. And the best master that explained that, because there is a different masters having the specialization, I would say, like Thich Nhat Hanh is speaking a lot about compassion and kindness. Eckhart Tolle, power of now, so the present, how to be in the present. Bentino Massaro, parallel universes, parallel realities, and the way he explains some of the things, many things he explains the best, but one of those things is why you get disease. Exactly what I told you, but in a beautiful way. You can watch his 25-minute video and it's just great. But coming back to my story, the quantum moments. So then you see it's like 10 minutes I explain where is this all going. Me being stressed, overworked, not happy with life, suffering. Then physical suffering comes as you stress and you put more pressure and tension to you, so the body is responding to it. So then I say, what could I say to all that? You know, I say I take few days off, I do nothing. So every day I'm just checking the emails and some important stuff with the people I cooperate. So I keep up with the business, but just 2-3 hours. But I switched my mind. I switched my mind into vacation process. So I say I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna go every day at 12 in the noon to the beach, relax, then go eat something nice, do some diet, because when you have some pain body, you might wanna limit the foods or grease or some heavy stuff that your body, the energy can recuperate, that can get better. And it's, you know, eating a lot. I notice eating some sugar for a second, like a drug, it gets you rush, but it's never a solution to lack of energy or when you lose energy or something happens to you like disease, sometimes because of missing energy, sometimes because you've been diseasing yourself. That's why it is. That's why it comes. Nothing else. Really simple. So I took few days vacation and I started to make those. Well, every morning I do like a special diet smoothie with avocado, orange juice, some strawberry, pineapple. So I mixed it all with some spinach. And actually I noticed when I switched my mind, first thing, and I was doing very much fastings through the years, but this time I noticed that I'm not even hungry. When I switched my mind, I can go with a smoothie like this, like 1 or 2 glasses of smoothie, hours, and usually every 2-3 hours when I obsessively work, like work, let's have this done, success, you know, it takes a lot of energy. And when I don't do it, I noticed already this quantum jump, this kind of happiness in not doing, that bring me more energy, that I don't have to eat, that I don't have to be obsessive, because I have some obsession with the food. Like most of the people don't realize that. Well, I do realize that when you have to eat every 2-3 hours and you think about meal even when you're not hungry, that's already obsession. And most of the people, I would say, have more or less some part of this obsession. Otherwise we would eat like little fruit here, little fruit there, thank you, it's all good. But it's not like this. So this is another subject. You see many things coming out in this discussion, conversation, monologue. So another part, so I started to ease up. And I started 2-3 days after I've been starting to easing up. So it took me like 3 days. And I would call it the half fasting, because I have 2 glasses of smoothie in the morning, then I do it 3-4 hours later. So in the past, this kind of diet would be fasting, like almost nothing for me, you know, little fruit, few oranges or something. It would be like nothing. It would be like pre-breakfast, you know, that I can have like omelette or eggs, something heavy breakfast, you know. But this, I've been doing the process of this, let's say, half fasting. And for the first time, I was feeling like good, not hungry at all. I took away my obsession in my head. And then beautiful things started to come. So there is a conclusion to all this story. Well, on my chart list, what to do in life, I had put some things like how to consume more prana, how to feed yourself with breath. So breatharianism, you know, just feeding with a breath, with a prana. I started to check it on the internet, and I started to see those beautiful people. Beautiful, I mean in love with life, super healthy, drinking just juices. I'm talking about those people. Or feeding themselves just through the light and the breath. So some people might be thinking it's impossible, other people strictly doing it. And I know something about it. Even though I never ran a marathon yet, I know a lot of things about it because I did fastings. I did many days when I was just doing breathing exercises, or sun gazing when I was trying to level up my energy or align it at least to the level that is good, nice with yourself, that you feel acceptable even though you don't eat, for example, for a few days or a week. and you wake up every day with a fresh energy, even if you don't eat. Tell me, how is that possible if the man has to eat that much? So to the breathing technique and other things, we're gonna come back with other videos. I'm gonna put some articles where you can learn that, why do fastings, how do breathing exercises, how to put all of it into one box. That I started to see these beautiful people that are saying their stories, telling stories about how they went through the diet of eating meat and everything hard and a lot of eating, into the fruits and vegetables and becoming more healthy, more energized, and then even some of them quit everything and stop eating at all. But the conclusion of the stories, before I was listening to all of those things, I was reading a lot of those things in the past for years. And my mind absorbed it, but my heart, my subconscious mind couldn't believe it. So I was like, yeah, that's super nice, I'm gonna get into it, but it's like one of those airy fairy stories, and it's not for now, or I ain't doing it right now, or it's too difficult, or something like obstacles, problems, And this time, maybe it's just because I got more into meditation and even more into being with myself and the truth. And I've been praying. For a few weeks, I've been praying like this, sometimes on my knees, to enlighten me. That the process comes and enlighten me, guide me, teach me. I've been praying for this. Because my goal in life really, well, wherever crazy that sounds, is to get immortal, is to express divinity in me. So to express all the processes, to enlighten at the cellular level and the mind level and the spiritual level, like to connect all of these three. That is my ultimate goal. And that's why I'm talking a lot about enlightenment or awakening or other things that are like this, because it all leads to that. Well, in my perspective at least. So this is all coming to one conclusion about the quantum jump. After 3 days, I started to listen to those people, and things that were not possible before started to switch. I'm listening to this guy. He's talking about photons traveling from the universe to you, that we are omnipresent. In the same moment we are there, we are here. That's why we can level up our energy and become very self-sufficient, even without any food, without obsession. When you let go your subconscious fear, insecurity, what you've been taught through the society and history, that you have to be like this, you have to eat, you have to kill, you have to follow the ideas. Well, you don't have to. And that's what happened to me again. So through this, my little vacation, even though I didn't go anywhere, because I didn't feel like going for a trip, I wanted to be in the house, like safe, but relax, like go sun gaze, take time as much as I want, don't run for success, don't run for anything. I leave most of the things behind. Beautiful switch started to happen to me again. And you see, in normal life, I'm like just everybody else. I talk a lot about success, about feeling great, about how the switch works, how the awakening works, and how to go into enlightenment works. But every day, every Buddhist monks has the same problems, some negative thoughts, some feelings, some issues. I have all that. Some suffering, some unhappiness, that you're not feeling perfectly happy. So we are trying to get to this happiness through the awakening, through the enlightenment, through all of those things that we mentioned. But the quantum jump, like I'm referring to Wayne Dyer with that, because he was explaining how his quantum jumps happen, that he wake up awaken one day, like something changed, like an Eckhart Tolle story as well, that he wakes up and everything's vivid, everything's changed. And that's what happened to me after 3-4 days of doing that half diet, half fasting. I woke up and I felt like a little bit different. I felt like happy, you say you get up with a left or right feet. In some of the countries we have this saying, the right feet would be good, the left feet would be like waking up with some bad attitude. I wake up with a good attitude and it go on through the day. And I go to see sea and sun and everything, and I started to laugh, and I see the pelicans fishing, like going into the sea, trying to catch some fish, like a big pelican bird. And I started to laugh, and everything started to be so vivid. And I just become to be happy, and I felt like the switch was, the conclusion is, the switch was the things about the love and the people who eat light, who get energy from prana and light, instead of obsessive thinking, achieving and eating. It got to me. It got to me. All the airy fairy I was reading through my recent lifetime, like last decade, it just got to me more, and I started to feel it, and it was a quantum jump, quantum moment. And then I pray, like, let it last at least for a day, or maybe more, even more, a week, or for a month. It would be beautiful. And usually it's gone after a day. But this time I woke up next morning, and I still feel some part of it, like it's with me, it's there. Not that much as yesterday, but it's with me. I went to see the sunrise in the morning, it's beautiful, and I feel keeping relaxed and without work. So you see, sometimes no work or little work, or do work like right now I'm doing, like 2-3 hours, but no stress, no attachment, no success running, no, oh, we have to achieve that, close that today. Just super relaxed. It's maybe an answer, and it was always answered to me. And I always told you here in the switch, and my friends, like, do not work or work less or work like you have eternity to achieve those things. But in my office, here in my house, I usually do opposite, like all of you. There's nothing wrong with it, as long as you wake up one day and says, like, we need to change things. And then I'm waking every second day and thinking, like, I need to change this and that, and I want to breathe light, and I want to get enlightened and everything. And you think about it and you're getting it, you see. So those quantum jumps, those understanding, those moments of awakening, they are happening. And the only difference, I would say, like, yesterday and day before, I understood all of those things, and then I understand it more with my heart. So you start the understanding with the brain as shallow, as superficial. It's like beauty without intelligence, you know? Beautiful people, no intelligence, really boring. It can be nice for a weekend, a day, an hour, a minute, a month. Well, for some people it's nice for a lifetime because they don't know any better. But the beauty, outside beauty, has to come with a beauty within. Either way, it's nature, intelligence, intellect, or I don't know, somebody has a very nice jokey sarcasm. I don't know, anything that is beautiful inside. But so many things I mentioned, but about heart understanding, it's a quantum, it's a jump, whatever you call it. It's a jump, it's awakening. You cannot miss that. You feel that, you start to understand things. And then I got, like, since I've started to do the process of relaxation and some diet, and to quiet me down, to leave the, let's say, problems that I wake up behind, even though I don't have any problems. I don't have people with problems around me. Like, I don't have any business troubles, nothing. It's just so good. So so even though the mind produced those troubles, problems, what you have to fix every morning when you wake up, I left that behind. A new plan, new schedule, like this prayer I've been doing for a few weeks, maybe it started to come up. That's what I understand right now. For days, weeks, it was nothing. I was just praying, and I'm like, nothing's coming, nothing's coming, nothing's coming. Then boom, pain body, some suffering, signal, then I perform change according to the signal. You see, that's how the higher self communicate with people who don't listen it any given day, who are dumb enough to not hear it, your intuition, your voice, your inner self, your core. So that includes me, and that includes 99% of the population, if not more. So that's why the pain body, that's why the suffering comes, that you can switch it, that you can take it and you can say, okay, now I understand, it was too much. I was too much lying, or too much berating myself, or too much arguing, or too much stressing, or too much heavy diet, or too much being stupid with something, you know? Let's call it like it is. So then you see, it allows you to switch. it allows you to be a better person if you notice it. And of course, if the life brings limes, you can say like, oh my God, now we all gonna die. Or you can switch it. You can take it, make a beautiful lemonade, be happy, do the quantum job, do the awakening. Then the life push you more into the awakening, like it pushed me right now, that I'm doing this diet and I'm thinking like, I am not coming back to the cooked food. Well, maybe a little bit sometimes, something easy, like a vegetarian meal like I'm having sometimes, but I think I'm gonna stay with the diet and see how I'm gonna evolve to become insecurity free, fear free, obsession free, all those fears, to let them go. And before I understood that, people told me like, you eat meat, it's heavy, it's death, it has those codes. I understood all of this, I understand all of this. But to understand with the heart is something else. You start to understand it, you start to grasp it, and then you say like, oh my God, really worth to do some exercises, really worth to do some diet, really worth to switch, because different energy, different thoughts comes, different peace comes, incredible. Then you see how much you've been not having because of the stupid diet or obsessive work, obsessive thinking, obsessive eating, obsessive insecurity that you have no idea you have every day with you. Trust me, most of the people like me, they have no idea what they carry inside. When they get to the moment of some deeper awakening, you feel you start to cry, or the emotions start to come up. All of that you've been eating, you've been thinking, you've been obsessively doing for all your life is started to come out, to bring you peace, to bring you trouble free, to bring you stress free, to bring you into another level of awakening, that there is a better life with totally different history of the human race, with a different story. So it was Mike from The Switch with another story. Take care, join our group at The Switch, see the website, share your story. Take care.